Alaroye jokode, alaroye jokode, ibarolisha mawo, alaroye jokode.
Upon arriving in New Orleans, I felt instantly comfortable. There was never a feeling of being unsafe or so. None of that was present. There was an instant welcoming feeling, and the neighborhoods we drove through, they had a very serene feel. And I loved the fact that nothing seemed mechanical or mass produced. It was very inviting, and it was an appropriate space to relax. Definitely. That was my first impression. And then we could talk about other impressions after driving through the wards and seeing some other realities that are very present and not hidden. The retreat space was carefully selected for beauty and elegance, especially its elegant layout, but also the fact that there were sleeping spots and cozy areas in every single corner of that house. So it was strategically selected, and it was an elegant space, elegant layout, and it made the retreat feel special.
This was actually my second time traveling to New Orleans. Being in this different part of the city was truly amazing. I got to see how it is to just be in New Orleans without feeling like a tourist. It's a funny story about the house. This was the first house, and then we went through all of these different searches for something else that might be more accommodating, and we ended up right back where we started. So I think we were always supposed to be in this house. And then when we actually walked in, was just amazing and the perfect setting for the retreat.
You're wrong, baby, you're wrong.
Putting the shrine together was a very beautiful experience. We started at 1 a.m. and continued in the dawning when the women placed their precious pictures and items in the consecrated space. Each sister added to the creating and the maintaining of our shrine in their own way. As the excitement mounted the night before, I wondered how each one of us would interact or react to each other. I wondered which ladies would be shy, which sisters would jump right in and be talkative, and which ones would be reserved. It would have been our first time actually meeting each other and sharing precious time and space as a collective.
You got before you know what it tastes like. Okay. So there you the plan. So I was rushing to get here, so I thought I was gonna miss the flight, but everything turned out beautiful. Of course, you're a unicorn. Okay.
Guys I dated provoked me. Why are you, you know what I'm saying? Because they said, you too quiet, you too nice, you just sitting there. So they provoked me just so I can do something, just so I can say something, and they get aroused by me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm running to that.
Why can't things just be cool? Why can't we just sit here and kick it and be cool? You want me to be angry?
We were able to see each other eye to eye and get a fuller comprehension of who each other was and what our roles were. And our value and what we brought, this diversity of people converging, of women converging. It's just, it was a beautiful experience. There was also beauty in watching how energetic exchanges and relationships were built throughout the days of the
Like,
retreat.
mama! I never seen her look at me like this before. She was very upset with me. I like her.
Brother Randy was doing the militant thing, and his boys were observing his every move as he asserted and delineated boundaries for us as we safely painted. There's a beauty in that memory.
Walking in the street, like that was warm because it was just like we were creating our own like dome of energy that people felt. So I felt powerful. I felt like with my sisters we were like emitting power. Just it was really beautiful. The four corners, all of that, just the cover, just power, just what I mean? Just I loved it. And yeah, it was felt by other people, so that was important to me. Not important, but it was significant to me. With the headaches and just with the food, it became more evident and significant that, the herbs and the oils and our diet, it really, really impacts us. Because when I use the oil for my head, that's been my go-to. And having a conversation with Sister Maksha about how to build my knowledge of those herbs and how to heal myself, is going to be key for me because I need to implement that in my life. So I can, I just need that in my life. So just coming into that understanding slowly, but now it's like a real thing. Like this is my next task. That's what I'm taking with me. I appreciate the way everybody circulated. There was no clicks. I literally had one-on-one conversations at every part of this trip with everybody. Like I sat here and talked. When I walked, I had one-on-ones, in the different parts of the house, eating in the backyard. I spoke to everyone, and it seemed like everybody was just circulating. And that buzz of everybody just getting along and nobody in the corner like, I ain't talking like you, that was beautiful. And keep that up. We should all keep that up. If the energy is right, but keep it up and keep in touch. Please, do not drift. But I think it's very important to just the clickiness, it hurts us. So the socializing and getting to know each other and feeling each other out and learning about ourselves by learning about the people, the other women that we're with, is powerful, key information. So circulate. Yeah.
Russell, you sit like you've been to finishing school. I came in, she was just like, she's literally she's Duchess straight ahead. I'm not saying that.
You know, when you think about a new womb's mission statement and its foundation, those are established in the 14 keys. They're established on the 14 keys. So if you think about it, how can you unify or produce or arrive at unity, as Chief articulates, if we have not developed a sense of harmony internally within ourselves and then also internally within our collective? So the retreat theme really came through dialogue with Deidre as, you know, she considered times of stress and struggle that both cohorts faced while studying the 14 keys, power, unity, and success unlocked. And although the key of reciprocity seemed to be a pattern, we noted how crucial harmony and balance were in order for authentic reciprocity to take place or to manifest. The second fond memory I had was the unexpected dancing in Congo Square. And, you know, I have to thank the Sister Devosha for embracing those drums, because that's what led to the little dance session that occurred. And it was not on schedule, but it was definitely a representation of what happens when you just, you know, feel the energy move you to just be in the moment and experience creativity through music and dance and song.
I think harmony and balance were critical to this retreat because both of these principles were the opening and closing, respectively, to the Anu womb experience. The retreat was a chance to get to the matter of the do and to use the 14 keys, starting with harmony and ending with balance, to use them as stair steps to learning how to link them, what it means to link them, to learning to move together and be examples for one another. So, not that harmony and balance were the only keys used, but they were a good example as to where to start.
You know, thinking about it and looking back, there's no way you can skip over that internal key concept of harmony. because it's critical and crucial in order for us to arrive at unity. Because I must know my own notes, and I must know my own value and what I am able to contribute in order for that whole collective to move toward a specified purpose.
I definitely came thinking I knew what it was like to be in a working group, but I realized when I was in a working group, it would always be like a 9 to 5, and you had a task. Once that task complete, you're done. Whereas here it was like, it was a constant, like, we're moving together, we're eating together, we're doing workshops together, we're stopping together. Like, I felt like when I went to go buy a headscarf, just held up the whole group. But I really wanted that headscarf for my dogs. I know it makes me so happy. But at work, I'd get like an hour break, and I could do whatever I want with that hour, and then come back and nothing's changed. So it was weird because I realized I don't really have community. I've never had to move like this before. Like, I felt very like a fish out of water. This is so foreign to me, yet so beautiful, and I don't understand what I was feeling for the weekend, because I'm like, I don't know. So I really recognize, like, I don't know that group mentality, that united front. Like, I don't know that. I didn't have a clue. Yeah. The memory I keep, if I was to forget all other memories, was definitely those moments where sitting around and just speaking of gratitude. I really loved hearing everybody's perception of what they were gratitude for, even though they were all similar but different. I also liked when we were speaking about our ancestors and hearing everybody's stories, and even though they were different, yet they're still similar because they're all very candid and warm and funny, and I appreciate that. I also like just even walking as a group to the parks, doing the work. I like the togetherness. So the memory I'm definitely keeping is the togetherness that we had. We did everything together, and I usually do everything alone. Or with little people that don't appreciate what we're doing. They're just complaining about it. So to be with people that weren't complaining and smiling and happy to do things together was very refreshing. So, like, very much the whole weekend being together. So sum it up. Like, I'm grateful for it, because now when I go back to my reality, I would be like, okay, this is not how family lives. This is not how a group of women lives. Like, I'm looking at my girlfriends differently, I'm looking at my family differently. Like, what we did this weekend, I've done with nobody ever. There's not a single person outside of my children and my husband. And even then, like, they go to work and they go to school. Like, you know what I mean? That where it was like a constant, we do everything together for 72 hours. Never. So, like, yeah. Reevaluate a lot.
I also got a chance to attend the workshop on Alma's green thumb. It was amazing. Part of what I am doing now is learning herbs and taking Sedulu House courses. And it was important for me to, tie in things where I could and make connections. And learning more about herbs is really important to me. So learning and having the knowledge on how to grow food that is better for us is very, very helpful. So I really thank Alma for her presentation, as it was like very, very informative. Thank you, Alma.
I I replayed the Ori recording and the Oduduwa meditation in my head several times after the retreat. And I think those two stuck with me. Those two stuck with me because of the tapping into the crown of the head, which is the Ori, and the tapping into that not just its potential, but its power, and then the focusing on Oduduwa and tapping into that power, and being able to, reflect on hearing, Chief speak to feeding from the top down because we pull our power from the womb up.
I wasn't supposed to be having it, but I didn't want them to know. So I know how I messed up myself, trying to just be slick, and then at the same time, just that fast life I was living or whatever. So it was from an early age that I didn't know if I got married. So it was like I was trying to settle down, and it was like, oh, my past is like came and bit me. Like now what am I doing? So that meditation and with the esteem and everything just felt so healing for me, and I would never forget that. I was just genuinely trying
the last introduction or greeting that Chief gave us, to me, it just was filled with he did the guided meditation, and in that guided meditation, when we removed what was or cleared what we didn't need or wasn't fruitful for us, and we replaced it with fruitful seed. To me, that was so powerful. So a new woman, really a new woman connected us as women just to the woman. And then, he just made that connection for me in such a real way that I received everything that I needed from this trip. The healing, the guidance, the love, the wisdom, the sisterhood, the chief, just having a chief, just hearing Chief give us that takeaway was very, very powerful to me, and very cleansing and very healing. So that I didn't know that's what I needed to hear, but that's what I needed to hear, and that's my takeaway. That woman connection.
And then to begin our retreat with the adorning of the head and the covering of the head, and the ori, placing good intentions in there through meditation, and then ending our retreat with the concept and idea of focusing on a womb meditation. Do you understand? And then at the end saying, oh wow, feed from the top down because we pull from the womb up. The walk to our sip and paint will be replayed in my head for many moons to come, right? Painting underneath the melodious oak tree and occasionally gazing up at each sister submerged in the creative waters, that was precious.
What you doing on over there, Kevin? You know what?
I thoroughly enjoyed the Art in the Park session. It was a very freeing experience to be able to paint, which I haven't done since I was a young child, but to paint and create, just the idea and the thought and the activity of creating whatever is comes to you in that moment was such a freeing experience.
Together, basically moving in unison and being allowed to engage in our culture, to hear the drums, to dance, to laugh together. It was a real inspirational trip, and it changed my life, so I'm grateful. I'm taking a greater appreciation of myself, for one, and being a woman, because I stated earlier that in this world there's expectation for Black women to be strong, to be tough, to carry everything on their shoulders, and we kind of sometimes tend to forget who we are. So this trip has allowed me to kind of just get back in touch with my femininity and help to realign myself and to let me remember who I am, and that I am somebody and I am great. I was created out of love. So
I was able to let go and be vulnerable, and that's rare for me. So that was very powerful for me, and I feel it's gonna be a huge change moving forward for me in my life and how I choose to do things in a different way. So that was very powerful for me, having that sisterhood and that support. So.
With all of the lessons together, I keep hearing the word patience, being patient with myself, and growing and learning, and just like, for instance, with the crocheting, I came in it thinking I'm not going to be able to do this. My fingers are way too big, and I just kept at it. I have a habit of giving up too soon or too early, and not, like seeing it, but I got it, so it's just that whole thing of patience when I'm working with myself, that I need to value like the process of learning something instead of just giving up.
I learned that everybody has flaws, not just me, and that's okay, that we're all working on striving to be better people, and that I don't have to beat myself up about my deficiencies, that there's always room for growth, and that's okay. That's a normal process of life.
I'll be going and reading, looking, but how this weekend went, it's like how we were saying it every day, because I haven't been consistent with it. So now it's like I do have it in my heart. I do have it in my heart more. So that's gonna make me, when I go home, I'm gonna be able to kind of recite it even more, like from memory, because of this experience. That's what it's all together, and that's what I was expecting to. I was like, we're gonna be doing some rituals. Are we gonna be like it's gonna be so nice to just do it all together, because to feel that energy of not just by myself and my ancestors, but it's like it was collective. So that's what I really wanted to feel, like that more power, with all of us together, and I felt that.
Filming the retreat was fun, but more so fun, it was interesting. It was my first time actually working with another artist, doing a production or anything. I enjoyed the vibing that we had. I enjoyed us both having to, be in different parts of the house and filming all day and night, every place, taking turns, taking pictures, taking video footage, trying to hurry up and get the camera on when good things are happening.
They won't let me take pictures.
No
They're
pictures?
not letting me be great.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, no pictures, son.
Lean with it. They said they're not ready.
They're not ready. Okay.
It was an experience, because I had so much fun, but it was a very serious project close to my heart. And I'll never forget those moments. One of my fondest memories is something that I didn't see, I didn't witness, but I heard. And that's the laughter in the distance, particularly at night. Because me and Portia had to be everywhere all the time without cameras, catching different moments, it was hard for us to kind of sit down and really. When I finally did get into bed and I was tired and I wanted to sleep, I kept being woken up by different groups throughout the house, and different people just having conversations, laughing, and it was calming though. I didn't feel irritated. I felt a certain sense of calm, and I feel that calm came from my own inner question about what it would feel like to be in a house full of family and hearing those voices in the distance, and it was something that I'll never forget, and I can take that too off of my bucket list. If I ever have to reincarnate, don't think I'll need that. So that was my fondest memory, and I'll take that with me literally beyond this lifetime.
Ekwa Babalua Yekwa Babalua Yekwa Obalua Yekwa. Fondest memory. Oh man. I mean, okay, there were, like you said, there were too many, but last night when we were sitting with Sister Shula, so at a band, y'all gonna rock that. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm the He's gonna get crazy with it. Because I felt like I had to rush. You know what I mean? There's so much information, and I don't know everything now. And just speaking with her even before the whole group got there, just learning that she was like, she's been learning since 1984. You know what I'm saying? That's how she reached the stage she is now. It's like I can't just jump into being a priestess or having that much awareness and knowledge, and that was opening for me.
And the book, and I signed, but I would have brought it. I brought the music. That's why I listened to my CD player in the mornings. We were dancing to her singing this morning. Right. Yeah, that was her music we were dancing to. Wow. I would have brought all that.
I had seen it on Amazon. I mean, I had seen the book. It's a autograph.
Yeah. Can you sign my shoulder? Sign my shoulder.
Yeah. I had seen it.
Watching the beat. Shoulder blades back, popping on the beat.
The dog is...
Alright, let's try bending the knee. Okay. No,
I thought it was too. Like, why is he shaking the same way? Well, okay.
We're constantly in the spot, but then we're bending. And then we step behind.
Wait, I got one.
Wait, are we bending when we step behind? We should, but I can't do both and do my shoulders. So I don't even know what she taught me. I just can't do both. Do as I say, not as I do. I can't.
Where's your teacher?
I can't. I can't put my head and rock my No. That's what it's like. She's part of the hold on.
Yeah, after a while, this starts to become, and then your roots get fuzzy. Oh my God.
Obala eh, Obala dide, Obala eh, Obala dide. I really love to sing, but I tend to steer away from it because I feel like when I sing, I'm expressing, I'm revealing my soul. And I always get nervous, and don't like to do it in front of people. But last night I realized, I said I can still practice what I love, and it doesn't have to be on a secular level. Like maybe I'll do Orisha songs. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's going to be helpful for my soul as well as others.
What are you taking with you?
Everything.
It's and I'm not a waterhead. I'm so not a crybaby, but this has, I just feel like I manifested all of this because I've been asking for this type of sisterhood. And when I asked for the period between when I asked and now that it's happening, it was so tumultuous. Like everything was happening and people were just dying. And I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And then like through it, I was like, no, like it's something more. It's like something has to be greater at the other side of this. And now I'm on the other side. I just don't know what to say because it's just so amazing. It's so amazing, and I feel like I've reached. I have arrived. You know how
where it's supposed to be.
Okay, when you GPS and you get to your location. My GPS, she says you have arrived, and I'm like, you got that right, I did. You know what I mean? But I just feel like I have arrived. You know what I mean? I know it's just going to be greater growth from here, and I haven't had my reason. I don't know my purpose, but I feel like I'm living in it already, and it was very purposeful for me to come here to. This isn't the beginning of my journey, but this is the. It's like I don't have the word. I don't have the word to describe it, but I am so gracious for the gifts that I've been given by Chief and all of you, and I just give thanks.
Painting in the park because the wind chimes and all of us in that circle, it did something. I don't know, I transported somewhere. When we did the workshop in the back, and when we were in the shrine, in Tula's shrine, at first I felt kind of like I was intruding, but then when she started speaking and she welcomed us into the space and we all giving our energy to Delosha, something traveled up my spine. And I felt light. Yeah, I felt light. Confidence in my skills, my skill set, and also not being afraid to connect. Okay. Especially with other women. Okay. I'm not afraid to connect with other women, but you know, some things happen and I'm a little cautious. Some things happen in my past and I'm a little cautious, but I'm not hiding. Thank you for the conversations and the laughter and just the small details, the details that you think maybe no one would remember. I remember. Oh, right here. So I love you and thank you.
the unified goal was to come to the retreat and to learn how to shed what we don't need, trash it, right? And then cultivate what we have so that we can contribute and emit. The embodiment of what harmony and unity looks like, because we came together from all different corners with all different wounds that need to be healed, but we had a unified goal and we contributed what we could and worked together, and it was evident. Because I want to be able to do that. I want to carry Anu within myself. I want to be able to walk and people say, oh, okay, she's about this, what is she about? And then that attracts more people, and then we grow that way. We spread knowledge that way. I can't believe I'm back in Jersey so fast. There are no wind chimes or beads on none of these trees. Get it together, Jersey.
Street.
I know. We need to start the house of the Orisha. So, I'm sorry, the Orisha choir. What up? Right?
Yes.
And have the kids join in.
And I'm so thankful that I have a late flight. I got to come back, because if I caught the
good.
earlier flight,
Yeah,
I was trying to get
that's
down
right.
already.
Oh, that's great.
And how for a reason. And you are all in. Hello.
Kiss you and
I
everything.
like that one.
He want to get in your face. He don't care.
He's like, I like you.
I know.
He's better than me. All right.
Oh, yeah.
He's
quite rude with that.
Right, sir. Chester.
No, listen, every time you touch him, his eyes wink.
Do they?
Yes.
He loves it. And Fox is like, I'm going to get the leftovers.
I'm
It's a lot of pressure. The slow roll. And then there's Fox. And then the legs.
See how smart
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna wait. He sat right next to her. He said, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
They know the dog legs.
I knew there would be one that would rub me.
Look at that leg. It's about to go.
Midsummer.
Ooh.
And I was thinking, it is so hot here. I mean, it was really, it's extreme, the humidity. Mm-hmm. But then again, last time I was in Jersey and New York in the summer, it's gotten really hot since I was a child. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that hot when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. Last time I went there, I was like, it's really getting hotter everywhere, really. And the sun is, the sun is changing things. The sun has changed since we were children.
Global warming's real.
Right. No, it is. It truly
Trump
is.
can say what he wants.
Oh no. My parents had my mother and father had a luncheonette in on East Orange Avenue.
I don't know it very well because I'm always in New York, so I literally sleep there.
Oh, you just sleep there? Yeah, we grew. That's our area. New York, East Orange, Montclair.
Yeah.
A lot of our family lives over there.
Okay.
Like Newark. I was born in Newark.
Okay, I lived in Newark until I was 8.
Yeah, me too.
And then moved away.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's a great study tool for people, especially for children and families. You can be unified as a family. Be able to listen to not just my CD, but many, many others. It's I'm glad I came up early with the machines, and it wasn't from my mother or my father. It's my exposure when I was young. 19, it was like, oh wow, I'm glad I learned that music before learning all the other stuff. So it's good. It's very good.
My children definitely feel blessed being able to have your music because they go to school, and Toronto's very multicultural. There's like Portuguese, and there's Greeks, and there's Italians, and there's Asians, like Filipino, and South Koreans, and like just a variety of different races, and they always have their own language, and they always have their own music. And my children know that they can't really listen to rap and certain music in the house. Like, I'll let them listen to it on their own time, but if it's like playing in the house, they don't get to listen to it. And then when they go to school, everybody kind of knows that like it's the top 40s kind of what's on the radio. Right, so everybody knows it, but then all the different cultures still have their own kind of
Yeah.
music that they listen to, that they identify that's kind of separate from everybody else, and they never had that. So now when they go to school and they're singing the Orisha songs, and you're like, oh, what song's that? And like, it's like represent their culture in a way like that everybody else has been doing. So they're just like devouring. I tell you, they devour your music just because it's like everybody wants to have that special thing, that new thing, that new sound that no other kid has. So it kind of it empowers them to be like, oh yeah, like you guys don't know this song, and like they'll share like back and forth, and so they have to contribute now instead of like just always taking in some Greek songs or Portuguese. Yeah, it gives them a real sense of musical identity, because everybody's doing hip hop and R&B, so they don't really
that's
see
not
it as theirs
even
anymore.
Yeah, it's not, and people have said that it doesn't feel like.
I got one for y'all. 2, 3. Now remember, we gotta go to the beat.
Come on, we moving faster than you are. Let's go. You see, we already implemented. And NOLA is on point.
Now watch. Side. Now we're gonna go all the way around. Front. Then your back. Now you're gonna get low, stay in like plie position.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right, go back to the shaking. Go back to the cool spot. Okay, that is professional dance, Use the line to like.
Are you videotaping?
Yes.